The climate of Malaysia is tropical and humid. Malaysia could be considered as a free zone from climate-related disaster, where this country lies in climatologically stable region which located too far from major typhoon path and geographically located outside the Pacific Ring of Fire. However, floods are the main disaster affecting Malaysia, which give severe impacts on the people, damaging properties and infrastructures and also killing life. Recently, floods hit few states in Malaysia where Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang, Johor, Melaka, Negeri Sembilan, Sabah, Perak and Selangor are totally affected by heavy rain. Years by years, floods have become worse with the global climate change and human-made cause. Generally, floods are made more likely by the more extreme weather patterns caused by long-term global climate change. Change in land cover such as removal of vegetation, increasing urbanization, and inadequate drainage system are factors that can contribute to flood. According to Department of Irrigation and Drainage, Malaysia has categorized floods into two categories, that is, flash floods and monsoon floods. Flash floods suddenly occur without any warning and usually surprise people during their daily routine. It always happens in big cities in Malaysia such as Kuala Lumpur, Selangor and a few places in Malaysia when it rains heavily over a long period of time. While monsoon floods are caused by the northwest monsoon winds between the months of November to March and southwest monsoon winds between the months of May to September, usually public can get an early warning regarding monsoon floods. We can say that floods in Malaysia frequently happen annually. The major overflows Malaysia has experienced since 1920 until today. According to the data from Journal of Disasters Worldwide and Floods in the Nation, December 2006 and January 2007 are considered as the most damaging floods in the history of Malaysia. So, in order to reduce the loss caused by floods, a good mitigation approach measure is important since it can minimize the impact of floods. Government authorities, private sectors, NGOs, and the local communities must take part in the mitigation approach. Following from the disastrous 1971 flood, the Malaysian government took several actions and decided to allocate funds from the national budget for flood mitigation measures in every East Malaysia plan. Generally, there are two types of government flood mitigation, which are structural measures and non-structural measures. Structural measure known as a measure approach using engineering methods to solve the flooding problem. Meanwhile, non-structural measure is the engineering measures are not applicable or viable or where supplemental measures are required to prevent flood. Example of structural measures such as flood control dam, canalization and related works, flood diversion channel or tunnel, and storage ponds of flood attenuation. While integrated river basin management, preparation of guidelines and design standards, resettlement of population, flood proofing, and flood forecasting and warning system are examples of non-structural measures. As we know, flood is natural disaster that annually happen in Malaysia. Therefore, instead of government, local communities also play important roles in reducing the risk of floodings. In this critical situation, always be prepared for any possible incident and working together can help keep everyone safe. We are all better when we look out for each other. So, here are some flood mitigation approaches that Malaysians do. First is community activities such as gotong royong in the flood-prone areas where communities can clean up neighborhood. Second is by sharing information and experience using media social, which is easier to reach information and useful tips for better well preparation. Meanwhile, private sectors and NGOs are always support the flood mitigation approach by collaboration with the government. The private sector or company can contribute their skills and expertise in flood mitigation plan to help government accomplish the plans well. Second, they always give a help and being a volunteers before and after a disaster. The private sector, NGOs, and also a few organizations always provide the critical resources to communities that help save lives and also can protect the properties. So before this video ends, as a conclusion, flood disasters need to be reduced as they put a severe impact on our country, A more proactive and holistic approach to flood management and mitigation need to be improved, as well as awareness among communities to reduce risk of life, injury, and property damage. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching.